I have my basic skirt pattern here. This is the center front and center back skirt pattern. Now this is the side of the skirt. From the upper part of the skirt, I'm removing the excess I have to accommodate the hip pad after making it. Okay, so that part is not among. It starts from where the line of the hip pad starts. Now from the top of the skirt, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches and connect to the center back 2 inches above the hip line, right? 2 inches above and 2 inches below the hip line. You can see where I'm pointing, that is where the hip line is. Then from the top of the skirt, I'm going to come down by 16 inches. That is the height of the hip pad. So I'll go in 3 inches, then curve it with my um, curves to get this shape. You can just follow it the way it is and mark. All right. Of course, this is where the actual measurement starts, from that line. Now for the front also, this part is not part of our measurement. It's just the excess added to the basic skirt, and I'll still come down by 1.5 inch, right? Go in by 2 inches and then connect to the hip line. At that hip line I marked 5 inches inwards, right? Then connect it to this point 2 inches outwards there, matching the 16 inches from the waistline. I hope you understand. Okay, so I'll trace it out on another paper. This is for the front and that is for the back. Okay, like I said, on the front area at the hip line, I went in by 5 inches, right? And this is for the back. The whole of the back is the hip pad, right? So it's just me tracing out and make sure you understand or see what we are doing. So at the upper part, I went in by 2 inches, connected to the hip line where I marked 5 inches and down. Now I've cut on my foam. This foam is 0.75 inch wide. I mean the height of the foam is 0.75. You can use 1 inch if you want it to be big. You can use half an inch if you want something more moderate. Okay, so you need to label this because it can be confusing if you don't label it. You need to label the center front, the upper part, the down. The D is for the down. Label the way you understand. Okay, so I labeled, and remember that this is just one part of the hip. You're going to cut it too. Now I have elastic fabric here to use and to wrap up the foam, right? So I use the foam to cut it, and the fabric is stretchy. It's a lycra fabric. Okay, so like this, I'm going to cut it into two for the two sides of the foam. All right. So once it is done, I'm going to start putting this foam together using my needle and thread. I'll be putting it together like so to make sure the two of them stays in place. All right, so this is just how I'm going to do it and make sure that they stay in place until I get to the end of it. So once that is done, I'm going to start trimming the sides, all the sides, the center front and the center back. I'll be trimming them, the sides of the foam, not from the pattern. As you see in the video, I'll be trimming the sides. This is to enable it not to become so visible when you wear it. It won't be so visible to show that you can see this is the center front. I want it to be lighter at these edges, so we're going to be trimming all the edges right round. We'll be trimming all the edges, make sure it is flatter than the midpoint. This will help it to relax very well and help it to be slimmer inside the cloth where it will be worn. Now for the fixing of this, you can decide to fix it directly on your fabric or your directly on your dress, or you can decide to fix it into a short that you're going to be wearing whenever you decide to wear the dress. Now look at how I did this. That is because I want the foam itself to be smaller. I don't want it to be big. So that's why I did not trim only the edge. I trimmed both the edge and the center and the midpoints and everywhere. Okay. So I used the fabric that I cut out to wrap it, sewing the edges right round. This sewing is going to make it to relax more. I hope you understand something from this video. And here I have the shorts where I'm going to be sewing it on. I'll just put it together, use my sewing machine and sew it right round. Like I said, you can fix it directly on your dress, or you can decide to sew it to a short that you're going to be wearing whenever you desire to do it. Remember, from the pattern I came down by 1.5 inch, so I'll have to make sure that I fix it on the 1.5 inch below the waistline. Okay, so making the hip pad is as simple as this. All you have to do is give it a try and you realize how simple it is to make. So I'm going to use pin to hold it down. Now while doing this, don't use a very stretchy fabric for your short. It's going to stretch so much. Get something stretchy but not so stretchy, so that when you wear it, it can be very firm on you, and it will also make the hip pad to relax very well. This fabric here stretches so much and I had to stabilize it a bit. Okay, I had to stabilize it a bit, although I didn't show that part in the video. But make sure you get something that stretches but not a lycra that stretches so much. So this is how I'm going to make sure everything fits properly before going to the sewing machine to put them together, as in sew it right round on the short before closing the short, before sewing the short properly. It is just the sides that I joined. Place the hip pad and then close the sides of the short to a wearable position. So if you've watched to this part, please kindly subscribe to this channel, and we're going to see in the next video. But before then, I hope you try this out and see how beautiful it becomes on you. Okay, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I know you like it. If you watch to this moment, I know you really like it. So give it a thumbs up, share it, make a comment, and we'll see you next time. So this is how I'm going to just sew it right round, sew it right round, and then close up the shorts like I have said before, right? So I've made a number of hip pads and I'm going to show you this. Yes, there's a hip pad on this, a very big one, and this also. All right, so thank you. Bye.